Sometimes the smallest moments change your life forever. Not the big plans, not the things you prepare for, but the unexpected moments that catch you completely off guard. One evening, I thought my friends were just messing with me, playing another harmless joke. But that joke led me to a moment I will never forget, a moment where a simple dance with a stranger taught me more about kindness, courage, and happiness than anything else ever had. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartwarming stories that remind us how powerful kindness can be, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to share more stories like this here on your channel name. Now let me tell you what happened that night. It was a warm Saturday evening in early summer. My friends and I had gone to a small outdoor community festival in our town. You know the kind, food trucks lined up along the street, kids running around with balloons, music playing from a small stage in the park. The whole place felt alive. There were families dancing, couples laughing, and the smell of barbecue drifting through the air. A local band was playing upbeat music, and people had started dancing on the wooden platform set up in front of the stage. I'm not much of a dancer. My friends know that very well. So naturally, they kept trying to push me toward the dance floor. I kept laughing it off, shaking my head and saying, "No way." But my best friend Jake had that mischievous look in his eyes. The kind of look that meant he was planning something. "Come on," he said, nudging me. "Just one dance." I shook my head again. Nope. Not happening. A few minutes later, Jake disappeared into the crowd. I didn't think much of it at the time. I was busy eating a funnel cake and watching people dance under the glowing festival lights. Then Jake came back. And he wasn't alone. Behind him was a girl about my age, maybe mid-20s. She had long brown hair tied back in a ponytail and a shy but warm smile. Jake looked at me and said, "Hey man, this is Emily. She wants to dance." Before I could even respond, he gave me a quick wink and walked away. I immediately realized what he had done. He'd set me up. I felt awkward. Embarrassed. A little annoyed too. But Emily just stood there smiling politely, clearly waiting for me to say something. "Well," I said awkwardly, rubbing the back of my neck. "I guess we could dance." Her smile widened. "I'd love that," she said softly. We started walking toward the dance floor together. The band was playing a slow, gentle song now. Couples were swaying under the warm yellow lights hanging above the platform. But as we reached the edge of the dance floor, Emily paused. She leaned slightly to the side and reached for something beside the wooden railing. That's when I noticed them. Crutches. My heart skipped. Emily carefully picked them up and handed them to a nearby bench. Then she turned back toward me. That's when I realized something else. She only had one leg. The other side ended above the knee, where a prosthetic should have been, but tonight, she wasn't wearing one. For a moment, I froze. Not because I was uncomfortable with her, but because I suddenly felt completely unprepared. I didn't know how to dance with someone who had one leg. I didn't want to do something wrong or make her feel embarrassed. Emily seemed to notice my hesitation. But instead of looking uncomfortable, she gave me the most reassuring smile. "It's okay," she said gently. "I've done this before." Her calmness instantly eased my nerves. "Are you sure?" I asked. She nodded. "Absolutely." So we stepped onto the dance floor. The music was soft and slow, and people around us were swaying quietly to the rhythm. I placed my hands carefully, unsure at first, trying not to make things awkward. But Emily made it easy. She balanced herself lightly against me, moving gracefully despite the obvious challenge. Her confidence surprised me. Within a few seconds, it didn't feel strange anymore. We just danced. People around us barely noticed anything different. To them, we were just another pair of strangers sharing a moment on the dance floor. But to me, it felt like something special. As the song continued, we started talking. I asked her how she lost her leg, hoping it wasn't too personal. She didn't seem bothered at all. "Car accident," she said simply. 3 years ago. She said it calmly, like she had made peace with it. She told me she had been in college when it happened. A drunk driver ran a red light and hit her car. Her life changed in an instant. Months of surgeries. Physical therapy. Learning how to walk again. Learning how to accept the new version of her life. "I used to love dancing," she said with a small laugh. "I still do," she added quickly. There was something incredibly strong about her spirit. No bitterness. No sadness in her voice. Just honesty. We kept dancing. The music changed to a slightly faster song, and somehow we adapted. Emily leaned on me more as we moved, laughing when we almost lost balance. It felt natural. Fun. Real. Then something unexpected happened. Emily suddenly stopped dancing and looked up at me with bright, emotional eyes. Her voice was quiet when she spoke. "I've never been this happy before." I blinked in surprise. "What do you mean?" She looked around the dance floor, then back at me. "Most people are too nervous to dance with me," she admitted. "Or they feel sorry for me." She paused for a moment. "But you didn't." Her eyes shimmered slightly in the soft festival lights. "You just danced." That sentence hit me harder than I expected. Because the truth was, I almost hadn't. If Jake hadn't tricked me into it, I probably would have stayed by the food trucks all night. I would have missed this moment. Missed meeting Emily. Missed understanding something important. Sometimes kindness isn't a grand gesture. Sometimes it's just saying yes to something small. The song ended, but neither of us moved right away. Then the band started another song. And without even asking, we kept dancing. More people joined the floor. The festival lights glowed brighter as the night grew darker. Laughter filled the air. At one point, Emily even spun slightly, holding onto my hands for balance. She laughed like a kid experiencing something magical. And honestly, so did I. After a few more songs, we stepped off the dance floor and sat on the wooden steps near the stage. Emily grabbed her crutches again, but she looked completely relaxed. We talked for almost an hour. About life. About dreams. About how people sometimes underestimate what others are capable of. Before she left, she smiled at me and said something I'll never forget. "You gave me a normal night." Just 5 simple words. But they meant everything. Because sometimes people with challenges don't want special treatment. They just want to be included. Seen. Accepted. When Emily finally walked away with her crutches, I turned around and saw Jake standing nearby with a huge grin. "You're welcome," he said. I shook my head, smiling. "Yeah, thanks, man." That night taught me something powerful. Kindness doesn't always mean fixing someone's problems. Sometimes it simply means sharing a moment with them. Laughing with them. Treating them like anyone else. A simple dance changed Emily's night. But it also changed me. Because now I understand something I didn't fully realize before. You never know what someone is carrying in their life. And you never know how much a small act of kindness might mean to them. So the next time life gives you an unexpected moment, say yes. Step onto the dance floor. Talk to the stranger. Be kind, even in the smallest ways. Because for someone out there, that moment might become the happiest memory they've had in years. And kindness like that has a beautiful way of spreading.